I want to address the subject because I've got a lot of comments related to it, and I know it does affect people. But a lot of times I get responses where people have said, "Well, I used to have astral projection experiences when I was younger, or different things would happen to them, but then when they got older, um, it just wasn't there anymore." Well, a lot of things change when you get older. You have more problems. You have a lot of things that happen in your life. But I think the main thing is not focusing on your inability to be successful or to focus on the past. The past is just a memory. Don't let that run your life. It's nice to reflect on things that maybe are positive, that can give you a little boost, but don't let that control your life. Don't let that control your present. The present is all about what you're doing now, what you are now, and you have to make it work. So, what I recommend is don't focus on nostalgia or how things used to be. They were never as good as you remember. Trust me. But, anyways, so you're focusing on the now, okay? There could have been things in your past that had occurred that you utilized that you just don't remember. So what you're going to have to do now is figure that out. Maybe it takes something more than what it took in the past for you to have these experiences. So what you're going to have to do is, through trial and error, figure out what happens. I'm going to give you an example, a personal example. Now, for some time, I didn't have the experiences. Of course, I wasn't 100% focused on it. I've got a lot of other things going on. So what I used to do is, a lot of times I would go to bed at night. I'd lay in bed. I'd focus on certain things. One of the things I would focus on, the third eye. Okay? Now, it seems relatively simple just to focus on one or two things, and you think, well, that really doesn't work. You don't know that. You have to try it first. Focus on the third eye. Focus on your energy. Now, I did get one question about what is energy. Energy. It's really hard to determine something that you can't see or touch or whatever. When I say energy, whether it's taking our energy back from the predators or whatever have you, if you really focus on it, you can feel the energy move within your body. You can initiate that. Now, what it does, what I would feel like is, I would explain it as more of a tingling effect or a rising feeling, almost like as if something is rising up from your I don't know, your lower area in your body, up through your head. Some people say that's the Kundalini rising. Some people say it's different things. But if you don't have that experience, all those descriptions don't matter. But what I can say is, it almost feels like a rush of energy that comes up through your torso and then come up to your head area. Sometimes it will go out the top of your head, and other times it will get to that point of your head, your crown chakra, and then it won't flow out. And then you'll feel a pressure at that point. Sometimes it causes headaches. Sometimes it causes other things. Sometimes, if it doesn't flow all the way through, you'll feel some ill effects based upon that. But that is what the energy flow. And a lot of times I can also say is, if you ever go somewhere and when you're a kid, you felt like somebody was watching you, or you're in a scary situation and you feel the hairs in the back of your neck stand up, that's the energy right there. That's the energy movement within your body. You can control it if you focus on it enough. Now, there's no words that I can give you for you to be successful in it, but what I can tell you is, this is what it is, and you're going to have to find ways for you to be able to control it or to initiate it. Now, there are better times in life than there are others, so sometimes it might not work as well. Other times it will. So the energy movement is a very important process of this, and I utilize that sometimes. And then when I do utilize that, when I go into the dream state, usually not long after I first fall asleep. At that point, I'm fully lucid within that dream state. I just enter it lucid. And I kind of play around within it. And then at that point, I can switch over and get into and initiate the portals. And for me, that works. Usually just does the first time that I go through the process, but and then I wake up after that. Now, usually when I wake up, maybe, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes after I went to bed, then I feel refreshed and I'm not even tired. I could be up for several hours. Even if I was tired when I went to bed, I'm refreshed and I could do certain things and go back to bed. So it has an effect on me, at least, but that's kind of how it works for me. Now for you, it could be something else. But at one point I told people that I was putting pyramids under my bed. That was having a positive effect on my successes in becoming lucid within a dream or seeing the portals. You're going to have to try a little bit of everything. And like I said, don't focus on the fact that, I used to be able to do it, now I can't. Well, there's a lot of things that you used to do. Well, you're going to have to do is go through the process and figuring out, okay, what now works for you? And it might seem silly or kind of stupid, but you're thinking and your focus and your imagination have such a large effect on you. And even I, at times, feel almost like, well, that doesn't really seem real. It is, because we're so programmed and trained to not believe a lot of what's going on. So we just fall under and just return to our previous programming. So put your effort into it and follow through. And then when you do have a success, write it down, because you'll easily forget it in a long period of time when you have been unsuccessful or you've been busy in life. And also build upon it. Don't just stop there. Find other triggers or other things that work for you in order for you to utilize those tools. Because sometimes you can utilize one tool and it works great, but after a while it doesn't work as well. So you'll have to have some kind of a backup plan or something that also works for you. So, and it's all about, it's not just about having these experiences. That's not the point. It's about you becoming under control. Now, when people say, oh, yeah, well, I've had these experiences, what does that do for me? What it does is it causes growth, and it causes you to believe in yourself more. And as you imagine and focus and do visualizations, it helps you grow. And the more that you're in control in these other states, that says volumes. You don't even realize how much that really means, because when you become in control of yourself, there's no words for it. So don't give up and don't focus on the past, because everything has changed since then. And as this moment passes, it'll be the past. The moments the words leave my mouth, it's the past. So utilize it in a positive way for what you can, and don't worry about the rest, because you can't change it. There's no sense in focusing on it. Like I said, don't let nostalgia carry you away.